So, get started on this wombat. This was the skunk folk. The hardest part about this is trying to keep it balanced, not make these cornerstone of all the abilities of the player. So trying to keep it in line with the rest of the races and species was the hardest part, because otherwise everyone would just choose that species. Let's see here. That. Started. We're going to start with with the wombat, they're defensive. And for like creating these characters, I want as many things already pre-built as possible. So being that they're defensive, they give some bonuses to AC. Let's try to find a class or a species that already has a base level to AC. Let's go to sources. Actually, we can go to game rules and species. So I think we may start with the turtle, but I don't think it gives a base adder. We're going to be doing 2 variants of this wombat, so a person can choose between it. Let's see here. Pretty sure lizard folk. So their scales has a base AC bonus. Let's see here. It does not. Natural armor is what I was thinking of. This sets the AC higher. They're unarmored. Okay, let me check something. My eyes are a little bit creepy. Um, here a little bit. A little better. That's better. All right. Just a bright white screen. Can you change the theme on D? Well, okay. So do we want... Okay, what I was going to check was... Does... Users of defense stack with natural armor. Natural armor also provides a bonus. You don't wear natural armor. I say yes, they do. That's what I say. We have one thing set: your base AC, whether unarmored defense, natural armor, robe of the archmage, or an actual armor set. They can have multiple things that add to AC. The restriction with base or defense is armor and shields. So is there a class 13 plus dex mod? What is normal AC in while unarmored? 10 plus dex. So this lizard folk is giving a +1 or +3 actually. But pick up see here. And one thing that sets your base AC with unarmored, natural armor, armored defense, natural armor, or robe of the archmage. So at barbarians, think. So the question is, who would be a wombat? And there's a couple abilities we're going to be building into this wombat, kind of showcasing its firm butt. Let's see here. I want to see its classes. I think barbarians get armored defense. They do. So it almost obsolete instantly the benefit. No armor, base armor class equals 10 plus dex plus con. Can't use shield. You can use a shield and still gain this benefit. Crazy. The wording on monk too. All right, I haven't done a lot in 2024 player handbook. Unarmored defense. Interesting. So monk unarmored defense is no shield. Barbarian, you can have a shield. You can use a shield. Crazy. Tank with no armor. All right, who else doesn't wear armor? Mages don't wear armor. I don't really need to worry about them. All right. So I have a few things. So we do not have a baseline for just a flat adder to armor class. The question is the +1 balanced? It's a ring of protection. Pretty sure. Collections, equipment, ring of protection. Okay, why? Where there's a ring of protection. What is my Ring of. What's wrong with this filter? Attributes, tags, names, types. I'm in equipment. Ring of protection. Okay. Rare +1 to armor class. And saving throws. Okay. So uncommon ability probably. But if you look at things like Aarakocra and like Dragonborn, they get some things that are kind of equivalent to a magic item. I think we'll be fine just adding a +1 to the armor class in one of the. If my audio is going. Dragonborn. Yep. Okay. Check sometimes my audio doesn't come through. All right. So let's create our wombat. So classes, creations, create a species. We are going to use the turtle because of their ability to pull into their shell. Let us get a we need to find a name for our wombat. So Humblewood likes to use like the species name and like play on that. So we're going to do that for the wombat. Make this version 1. Medium or small is fine. I found in the past that you can't create the selector easily. So finding a species that already has a medium or small selector, it was the easiest way I could find. Our wombat's going to be slowed way down because they are going to get a burrowing speed, very strong, arguably stronger than like flying. Whereas flying, you could still be hit. Burrowing, you're going underground and essentially invisible. Um, I like that. The Vomban. Disclosure, I am using AI to assist with the throwing information at me and to format quickly. But all this other part of building the class out is manual. The Vomban. The name is derived directly from Wombat's scientific family name, Vombatidae. It follows the exact same naming pattern as the Vulpin and Cervin. Vulpin meaning fox-like, Cervin meaning the deer family. Other options here, I don't really like them. I think Wombat. It's good. And common name, in case people want to just search it, Wombat Folk. All right, speed walking, 25. We're going to give it a 15-foot burrowing speed. No climbing, no flying, no swimming. Short description. Put in this. Delete all this. Stuff we need. Lifespan, we need to include. They're going to be humanoid. That just says that they like walk kind of upright. Humanoid. Language. So Humblewood has languages. I think for this one, hedge for wombats may be best. Check something on wombats. Are wombats solitary creatures? Solitary animals. Solitary and territorial. So very almost dwarf-like, but they traits do that. So we have this barricade, tough claws, wombats, instinct, and burrowing speed. We called them the Vomban. And I'm hoping one of my players chooses a mole, but I'm not going to do all this work unless one of them chooses that. Now, a mole has lots of negatives, which I guess in an overworld campaign, it's kind of struggling. Like they would be more. I see them more like. I would love like a mole bard comes out of his hole, sings a song, does some buffing, and then goes back in his hole. Or like supporting, especially characters with like a burrowing speed. You go out, you cast like a concentration spell, and then you go back in your hole, and you're just chilling down there. And people can chase you in your hole if they want to, but that burrowing speed makes it so that you have like complete cover. So that's why I didn't go too high on the burrowing speed. It makes it feasible that you could potentially look inside the hole and see them, but they would have to be like right over the hole looking down and seeing the critter. I read some other builds of wombats. One of them had 25 burrowing speed, and that just seemed excessive. The only thing I kind of agreed with was the chance to get like a +1 AC from that build. Everything else was kind of like they're completely reworked. Let's see here. So wombat are solitary creatures. So we are going to open up some sources, open link a new tab. Let's go and see some languages here. Prefer not to create a new language if one already exists. That will work for the wombat. So I think normally they would do like scratches or like little grunts. I'm looking for Humblewood. Let's see here. We need languages, which are, I think it's here. Characters in the wood. Languages of the wood. Okay, so hedges, Derbeans, Mapax, and Vulpins. These are all languages. Birdfolk, interestingly, is like common in Humblewood. Calls and whistles, primarily oral writing. So hmm. Actually, you know what? I think a raccoon, which is a Mapak. When I was reading Mapak, I thought it was hilarious. Technically dense language often incorporates rough equation estimations of physical properties in normal conversation. And I'm thinking like a wombat, being that they haven't talked to anybody, they just be very technical and just give the information as it's needed, and then like arbitrary things that they observed. That's what I'm thinking for Mapak. That the Mapak language is, and I think the wombat would somewhat relate to a raccoon in a weird way. They'd find Jerbean annoying, Hedge to be too soft mannered because hedges are very passive in their language, and wombats just kind of like they're pretty tough little creatures. They don't just curl up. So I think Mapak, we're gonna go with Mapak on this as one of the other languages here. Common and Mapak. Humanoid, lifespan, I had man, I'm just picturing wombats like the dwarves of Humblewood. Lifespan. So I had this height and weight. Lifespan is here. The wombat folk are star-hearted people of deep earth, known as Warrens, are marvelous communal engineering, serving not only as homes but as unshakable sanctuaries against dangers above world. Nice. Wombat. Here, the womban. Pragmatism, their unyielding loyalty, and quiet strength that belies their gentle nature. Though they prefer peace, they are movable in the defense of their homes, and they consider family presenting a stubborn, unbreachable wall to any aggressor. Okay. Vin Diesel, wombat. Uh, family. All right. Vin Diesel is a wombat. All right. Let's see here. As a wombat, only racial traits. All right. Now we get into the difficult part. Variants. Oh, cancel. Let's save this. All right. 15 feet. Species group. Good. All right. Save again until we. Okay, let's see what happens when you add a variant. I've never done the variant thing. Species group is variant. Species. Okay, got it. All right, let's go back. So, now I have to get into all these species traits. Like I said, so originally, I bought this on DM's Guild, and I used a lot of like, I liked some of the stuff they said, but again, I wanted just a different feel. I can log into this. Oh, what am I doing? So I bought this on DM's Guild. Let's go to downloads. open up our under fire. All right, Wombat. So here's the +1 to AC. 25 miles per hour for distances up to 500 feet. So you could do a burst of speed and then you're stationary for a turn, which is fine. You're just getting something that moves really quick. Let's see here. And then they had, let's see here. A rolling speed of 25 feet, which is ridiculous. That's a lot. Natural Splinters and Terran. Common and Terran. So we're not going to do that. So ability score increases. Let's see what this gives you. Okay, that's fine. That's just a standard. In Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, they changed the ability score so they're not fixed. So you're not locking your species and trying to stereotype certain species to certain classes. You could then actually change and mix and match your ability points, which I think is better because I think you should kind of look at the ability of the species, kind of play what you want, not be punished initially. I'm going to keep that for ability points. Languages. We are going to lock the language. That modifiers. Go back in. I hate that it does that. Edits. This is going to be Marpok. And you cannot just make a new language. Marpok. Okay, I need to do some respelling. So that's why I prefer to use languages that already exist. So this is Marpok. All right, save that. Let's make sure we didn't have any more typos here. Okay. Now, creature type. Humanoid, that's correct. We're going to delete hold breath. So we started with a turtle. So we're delete hold breath. Going to add in, we're going to edit clause. Be a D4. Strength. That, we have to go back in here. Go down here to actions. Action that exists, edit this to a D4. So that way the automations take effect. Strength, melee, unarmed. Have any weird references here? Slashing is right. D4. All right, save that. Save this. Natural armor. How this looks. We're going to call this. Oh, no, that's going to be for one of the variants. So we're going to. Nope, we do have something here. This natural armor. So what was really important here was the different ability. Shell defense. This is what we want. So we are using this template. We are going to create an earthen barricade. So wombats have cartilage in their butt that they can harden. Go into a hole, they plug it with their butt. So similarly, being that they have a burrow speed, the wombat has a burrow speed. This is going to be very similar to the turtles going into their shell, just for balance. So they can use their burrow speed, go in, and then they can use the earthen barricade where they harden their butt up and they can be there. So very, very similar wording. As an action, you can dig into an adjacent soft earth and present your tough cartilaginous rump as a shield. And this is a +4 bonus AC, and you have advantage strength and con, so throws. On your shell, you are prone. You are in this stance. You are prone. Your speed is 0 and can't increase. You have disadvantage on dex saving throws, and you can't take reactions. The only action you can take is a bonus action to emerge. There's additional wording here. So this makes it slightly weaker than the turtle. You must be on the ground that you can burrow into to use this feature. So sand, dirt, mud, things like that. Can't be on stone and burrow. So you have to have burrowed a little bit, and then you can use the ability. So we're just going to copy this snippet. Or input advantage on your strength con save, so you will have the prone condition. Copy this formatting here. Why they don't have it in the turtle. Bonus AC give just while in your while in this stance. You are prone. Your speed is 0, can increase. And your only action is you can take a bonus action to emerge from your emerge. Bonus action to okay, I was like an action to emerge seems like a lot. And add in this for clarity. You must be on the ground. Now, I don't know who's watching, but there are other cases of this. Potentially use this in a creature's throat or something. Maybe to some success, but yeah. So let's see here. Actions. Edits. Are going to have Earthen Barricade. Earthen Barricade. Disengage. Or gauge. Ugh. I hate that it does this. Copy our All right, let's copy our language here. So I have to like put it 2 places. Back into here, edit this, put the same exact language. Engage. Wait. Oh. God damn it. Zero can increase your disadvantage dexterity, direction. The only action you take bonus action to disengage. And this must be that I deleted that. So let's go here. This. That. Earthen barricade. Disengage. this. Why? Does this not give? It doesn't give the bones for AC. All right. That's that called out. Select this option if you want to be called this modifier secret. Okay. Interesting. That is not. All right. Hooded claws. Okay. I'm gonna do this. Call this. What are all the? Let's see here. So what I need to do. Player's handbook. What are the different? Proficiency. At proficiency. Skill proficiency. Skill list. Okay. What would they be good at? History. Oh, yeah. Investigation for sure. So we'll do animal handling makes 0 sense. This is alphabetical. Investigation. Nature makes sense. Persuasion, religion, sleight of hand. Survival makes sense. I think history, actually. History. Medicine, nature, stealth. Oh. Add in how you do it. History. Stealth. That will make sense. Save. And let's go back to that. I think this is going to have a weird drop down here. Emergency, choose a nature intuition skill. Choose a skill. Use a skill. We're just going to do that. Otherwise, we have to build out. I don't even know how to build out a combination list. there's that. Save this. What else do we need to do? Dark vision, which turtles don't have. So let's add in here. That's going to be size, speed, claws. Let's put a 7 in here. And use a template. I'm going to use a Dragonborn. Creations. Species. Species. This is so we just can get into the programming behind it. There's two things we need from this. One is the wording, dark vision. Other. Man, it'd be so cool someday as a mole. But I know it's going to be pretty tough stuff to play. So dark vision. On. Snippet. Yes. No. Yep. There it goes. All right. So we got that. So how we create? It's not a variant. So you add a. What was it? You add add an option on the add an option on the okay. So go here. Go here. Add a species trait. How do they term this? So if we go into characters, classes, species, have morph traits, the not have subspecies anymore. Uh, Wombat. Wombat folk is still misspelled. Vom. I probably didn't say vom. Subspecies. That's going to be 11. Feature type granted. Wombat folk wombat. We'll call these wombat. Now that we've named them. That's why does my P do that? Just doubles up there. So that go back here. I'm just gonna. This is annoying me a little bit. Yeah, I'm getting ready for a new campaign, so just kind of making a new species and getting it all formatted up. Kind of a learning curve. Yeah, I really like it, and this is really fun. That's good. We created our. Save that because that was going wrong in the header. Okay, so go back to create our subspecies. Here, wombat subspecies. That look wrong. This. Yeah, we just got out of a. There was a long campaign with the Chrono Convergence campaign, and this is kind of like a break campaign. There's a TPK, and so now just dialing back, going into the Humblewood setting, playing very little creatures just to relax a little bit. Yeah, it's great, and I get to kind of reset the campaign or just get a break to try something new, run something new. I'm super excited to run this one. Kind of like Redwall, or like we were playing like a super kind of dark campaign. All the players were like chaotic, neutral, or evil, and so this is going to be a refreshing break just something a little bit more potentially laid back. Whole new world, whole new characters, and just kind of making these species out that kind of fit the world that the players can use, but using D&D Beyond's character creator to kind of streamline it and give all the options. So far, I made a skunk species earlier today, and then this is the wombat species. Those are two that I thought needed to be distinct in what they do. So it's building out and balancing them up. Here, what was I doing? Right, I was going in here. Choose one of the following variants. You add an option. This is the scrapper. On ban scrapper. Yeah, it was and that's the intent, like not to belittle, like they had a TPK earlier and there was like they had a lot of things set up. And then this was a second TPK, and it's like you really need to make it feel impactful. Not just continuously resing their characters. It's very valuable because of the way there's no risk and you can kind of just do whatever. There needs to be a fear that your character is going to die or perish. But with that, with a TPK, you need to do a lot to make it like good for the characters to either earn their way back through like hell or whatever they are, if they want to do that. It takes a little bit of time to rewrite. And this has been kind of this other campaign I kind of had on the back burner already, kind of like been wanting to run it, but didn't know when to. And I was like, this is a good time to try out that campaign, something less, a little lighthearted. They were level 12 in the one that they TPK'd in. So I've been playing the same characters for a long time. So this is just like a refresh, try out something new, try some new classes. This is going to be a shorter campaign. Yeah, I was also pretty attached to a lot of my creation, a lot of the story that was done in that. But I needed a time to just reset and not, keep on pushing that campaign and just like back off. Everyone try something new. We TPK'd. Need to see where the story is going to go. If it's going to continue, start this on the side. Try something new for everyone, me as the DM and for them as the players. Because another thing that can happen is you can get kind of bored of the story, or the play style. You want to try something new. You get kind of detached from your character and you start taking more risks. And I think that's kind of what started happening, where just the campaign was getting a little stale, and so I mean, we obviously we're trying to express something on the paper, and at a minimum, it's an idea that you have in your head that is now coming to life. Let's see here. So 2 different subclasses of the wombat. So one, they move fast, and the other, they are tanky. The bonus action on your turn, you can move up to your speed towards a hostile creature. Oh, wait, that's not where I'm at. Scrappers rely, we're on the description of the scrapper. Let's qualify this, Vomban. Scrappers. Yeah, this video is kind of for, at a minimum, for me to reference and be like, how the heck did I build this, and how do you do this in D&D Beyond? And then I'm gonna chapter it and tag some stuff in it, because I think there's some very important things here. Let's see here. Prerequisite species. There's no prerequisites. This looks like it has 2 spaces. It does. So save it. And then add a modifier. And the modifier type is oh, we don't add a modifier. We add an action. Action type is a general action type. This is called Unexpected Scuttle. Snippet is, as a bonus action, you can do this. Move up to your speed to a hostile creature you can see, which is pretty cool. When I get into the tremor sense, action activation type is bonus action, proficient. Okay, save. Okay, so that's one option. Save. Edit this. Do that right. So edit. Ban. Scrapper. And then add an option. Okay, this is where we put our other one. Stalwart. Stalwart. Ours live in bastions. They're like tankier. They're more about just sitting there. Guardians of their warrens. Save that. Spells. Actions. No. Modifier. So these just get a flat +1 to their armor class, which is huge. Rather than changing it to unarmored defense, they just get basically a partial ring of protection. So what is this? Bonus? Armor? Armor class? Fixed value? Okay, I think we need to look at a ring of protection. Collections. Brew. I could have just done that. Collections, create a magic item. Magic item is going to be ring of protection. 8. And is this correct? Bonus armor class. Let's see how they do that. Bonus fixed value of 1, so I was on the right track. I was doing it. That is exactly how it works. Save. And save. Save again. Not take me back. Okay. So my friends are trying to summon me for gaming. Not yet. All right. So the final thing, lifespan, creature type. Okay, so I can remove creature type. Ability score increases. All right. So let's remove language, creature type from this. description. It appears later. Save that. And then we need to see how the heck a Dragonborn has a level up trait. Draconic Flight, required level. Edit. All right. So it looks like you just need to put a required character level in. So add species trait. This is called this. Foreign Wisdom. Giving blind sight. All right, so or tremor sense. So this is called Warren Wisdom. And how do I qualify this? It's like strong or something like that. There's a magic item that gives you tremor sense. Great magic item. Okay, so first let's find. I think it's the belt. Tremor sense. They're literally boots of tremor sense. Tremor sense. That's not a thing. All right. Well, what's a creature with tremor sense? Game rules, collections, species, monsters. Tremor sense. Purple worm. That's a good one. All right. Create a monster. There is purple. All right. Let's see how it does this. Bite. Swallow. is senses. Oh, you can add edit. Okay, we'll do it that way. Tremor sense. I'll do 30 feet. Oh. Okay. Granted. Okay. And we are going to our character levels 5. Ooh. We're going to make this 12 or our display order 10 and gosh, it is going to give us a modifier. Oh, add action, general, activation type, bonus action, reset time, long rest, um, dice, activation time. I actually had a copy of this. So Dragonborn has breath weapon. That is a option that grants a ten. Charges. Limited uses. Add this. Use. Add limited use data. Double overrides. Rest. I don't know why that wasn't showing up. Number of uses. How the heck do they have this set up? One edit. Hero addition. Addition save. Save. And actions that the species trait may grant. A way to level overrides, maybe? Dice count, fixed value, activation type. Oh. Okay, I will deal with that if it comes up. All right. So I think we are ready. Homebrew. Well, let's actually create my characters. All right, edit this. Actually, delete this. Type the word delete. Edit this. All right, homebrew is selected. Species. Wombat. Confirm. Ability score. 3 scores. Awesome. This is all working. Size. Medium. Good. Burrows crowding. Choose a skill. Acrobatics. Combat subspecies. Choose an option. Yes. Stalwart. Let's take a look. Can I look at my character sheet? I cannot. Let's throw something in here. Let's do a barbarian. Add class. 2 choices. Boom. Boom. Mastery. Boom. Boom. All right. Plus equipment. Skip starting equipment. Abilities. 4 choices. Okay. What am I supposed to do? What did I do wrong? Background. Option, charisma. That. Choose spell. Spell. Bane. Ability scores. Scores by 1.